Hey, make sure you ask for referrals. That was my referral training class way back when. Every time we delivered a vehicle, I was supposed to ask the client for more business. Guess what? It didn't work at all. Because here's how it sounded. Say, any chance you know anybody else looking for a car? And of course the customers would say, well, no, not right now, but if I ever do, I'll be sure to send them in to see you. Have you ever heard that before? Because we hated asking for them in the first place, that sort of felt like a win. You will? You'll send people in to see me? Thank you very much. And guess what again? We never got any referrals. Primarily because it's not the customer's job to find more business for us. What is the secret for receiving referrals from our customers? Stick around. I'm Jon Quade, the 5-Minute Coach. 2 out of 100 sales consultants excel at asking for and getting referrals. I can help you individually if you're one of those people. I've taught thousands of salespeople how to do it, but realistically, maybe 8 to 10 of them have had some long-term success. Could that maybe be the coach's fault? Well, maybe. But I tend to think it has more to do with the discomfort associated with asking for referrals in the first place. It's sort of a triple-edged sword, if there is such a thing. I mean, first, we think that if we've done a good job, referrals should just come naturally, yes? Number 2, as I alluded to before, referring others is not at the top of a customer's mind after they leave the dealership. And 3, if we're not asking and they're not volunteering, there are a whole lot of potential referrals out there that are not being tapped. So if you're in the 98% who aren't comfortable asking for referrals from your customers, let's figure out a way forward. For starters, the best referrals should come to you organically, without you forcing the issue or begging, which makes everyone uneasy. To make that happen, you have to do 2 things. First, receiving referrals organically, you need to ask for referrals before you close the sale to set the stage. And you need to deliver an exceptional experience for the customer. Now here's how setting the stage might sound, and it's probably best delivered during or just following the demonstration drive. Maddie, if we exceed your expectations today, who else will you want me to deliver the same experience to? Knowing that you'll probably hear things like, well, I haven't bought it yet, or you're pretty confident, aren't you? That's okay. We just want the client to think first about buying themselves, but also potentially sending a friend or family member in to see you when they're ready. As to the second point for generating organic referrals, delivering an exceptional experience, this is as much a challenge to the customer as it is to you. If something we do isn't at least meeting their expectations, we want them to feel comfortable enough to tell us. And this opportunity should drive you to deliver an exceptional experience every time. If something doesn't go well, you have to constantly strive to improve, period. Okay, now let's take a few minutes and talk about non-organic or actively obtained referrals that you ask for. And let's start with a couple of don'ts. Number 1, don't ask for referrals in an email. First, really for 2 reasons. First, you will never actually receive any using that tactic. Nobody opens an email and says, if you know of anybody else looking for a car, be sure to send them in to see me, and they fire off a list of their best friends. Nobody does that. Secondly, and we often don't think about this part, what is the effective cost of asking everyone to send you names like that? Do they think more of you because you asked? Or are they likely to think it's pretty lame and forward of you to assume that they like you well enough to send Aunt Betsy in for a new minivan? 2, don't ask for referrals in a text. Anything you send in a text will potentially live forever. So don't give customers an opportunity to show others how pretentious you sound. Aside from occasionally asking in person, the only other place you should ask clients for referrals is the telephone, because both are in real time, which allows for an immediate response. In those cases, how you ask is of utmost importance. At the beginning of the course, I said, "Say, any chance you know anybody else looking for a car?" And that almost always prompts a "no, but if I ever do" response. Instead, if you're speaking with one of your owners on the phone, you might say, "So have you been showing off the new truck? I was wondering who else you might know that one of these days just might be thinking about a newer used vehicle." Did you catch the difference? Who do you know is much more effective conversationally than do you know anyone when you're asking for referrals. Okay, this was a lot of the coach talking and you listening and thinking like a customer, I hope. Let's finish up today with our KLPs, or key learning points, for this course. Number 1, actively asking for referrals is uncomfortable for everyone. Number 2, there are 2 ways to receive referrals: organically and actively. Number 3, for organic referrals, set the stage with an opportunity question before you close the sale. For active referrals, don't ask in an email or text. Face-to-face and on the telephone are best. And number 4, the easiest people to ask for referrals are your owners. And that is it for this episode of the 5-Minute Coach. I'm Jon Quade.